This day in Philly sports history is proud to be a part of the Clashing Conferences Sports Fan Network, where passionate fans make powerful content. Check out theclashingconferences.com and join the squad today.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to this day in Philly sports history for September 29th, 2025. I'm your host, Jim Montgomery. Welcome to a Monday edition of the podcast, another Victory Monday. We got a lot to get into. A lot has gone down since we last talked on Friday, so let's get into Rewind the Weekend like we do every Monday morning, brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your order. They got you covered for all your Red October gear, Eagles gear, Sixers, Flyers, Union, Philly centric, you name it, they got it. So go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off of your order. All right, so let's start with the Eagles. It's a win. They went down to Tampa Bay, won 31-25 in another game that was really the tale of two halves. Solid first half. Offense looked good. Defense looked good. Special teams looked really good. And then the Heat, I think, probably played a little bit of a role in that second half. But I don't know. The play calling was just atrocious at best, minus the fake tush push, which I've been calling for all season now. So it's good now that they have that on film to give teams something to think about. But it's almost as though Kevin Patullo ran out of plays. It's like he's going through the playbook, and then it's like, oh no, what do I do now? Very vanilla, very bland. They did just enough, though, to win. Kudos to the defense who showed heart and got stops when they needed, despite being on the field for most of the second half, despite the fact that they were obviously gassed. Tampa, to their credit, they're a tough team. And we said at the beginning of the season, these first four games were it was going to be tough. And I always break the season into pods. And we said 2-2 we'd be fine with. They're 4-0. You got the Cowboys, division rival, who all of a sudden last night found their offense and we're going up and down the field with the Packers. You have the Chiefs, who all of a sudden found their offense yesterday against Baltimore. You had Tampa this week, the Rams, who were coming in, revenge. So overall, first four games of the season, especially for not playing their best, specifically on offense, I'll take it. I'll 100% take it. Still concerned with the run game. The offensive line, Jordan Mailata talked about it again, still saying they're one block away, but I don't know, man. That the line just does not seem what it usually is, and I keep hearing we got the best offensive line in the game. They're not playing like it. So hopefully that's something they can get cleaned up. But it's concerning. I mean, like, I think it's a combination of the line and the play calling, because the play calling was there in the first half. Sure, they were stacking the box, but Jalen was able to take advantage of it. I don't get the force feeding of A.J. Brown. And yeah, he made the cryptic tweet after the game and everything like that, but I just don't get forcing it. And it looked out of sync and out of sorts in the second half, but a huge shout out to the defense. Jahad Campbell coming through, Jomo coming through when they needed him, Jalen Carter coming through. These guys really dug down deep. Now, there is a ton to clean up, still taking stupid penalties. I mean, the taunting penalty, whether or not you agree with it, it's on the books. So to keep getting called for that is stupid. I think the A.J. Brown thing is definitely something to keep an eye on, but I don't think what A.J. said was that far out of line. I don't know if he's gone to the coaching staff or what, but I mean, I'd be pissed if I was A.J. too, and I am pissed at the way this offense has been playing. minus the second half of the Rams and the first half of this Bucks game, they've been incredibly inconsistent. I guess you could throw the first half of the Cowboys game in there too, but it's just I need some consistency out of there. Whether that's Patula, whether that is Sirianni. I saw some people saying, "Oh, well, Jalen might have had a concussion." I don't even think he got hit in the head. So I don't know. There's just something I can't put my finger on it yet. But at the end of the day, you're 4-0, and that is a tough Tampa Bay team. It's been a house of horrors down there for the Eagles. So to be able to come out there and hold on with a win when it was like 118 degrees, I think, at the beginning of the game, they were definitely gassed. So shout out to them for putting it together. As I always do, I'll have time to read I don't really watch or read anything post game, just kind of, this is all off the cuff, me minus the AJ thing, kind of telling you what I saw. Um, Lots of good things on special teams and in defense. They gave up a few fluky plays. I don't know if that was a combination of the heat, some busted coverages, but they got to clean that up. But offensively, man, I cannot put my finger on it. To be one block away, but you've been one block away all season, I would look at the play calling, and it just seemed very vanilla, very just calling the same plays. Like everybody knew you were running right into the middle with Saquon. Not sure why they're not trying to get him out on the edge. I will say the screen passes to Saquon, I saw a couple of them. That was a new wrinkle I liked, but just like I said, a lot to clean up. Another tough game next week against the Broncos, who will be coming in on a short week as they play tonight. But we're 4-0. It's a victory Monday. And if you'd have told me we'd be 4-0, but look the way we did at the beginning of the season, I certainly would have taken it. So 4-0 is 4-0. It's a victory Monday. And like we do every Monday, or every victory day, I should say, it's time to name the GOAT of the game. And you go almost anywhere with this. I'm going to go, you got to give Jalen as one of the candidates. Zach Bond, who played outstanding. I guess you got to go Saquon, maybe. Go Dallas Goedert, Jihad Campbell, the special teams. If I had to pick, I would go Zach Bond. I feel like he was all over the place, all over the field, making plays, and that would be my go to the game. But what do you say? Who is your go to the game? 267-495-8531. Get that. Vent about the Eagles, vent about anything Philly sports related. But a win is a win, but certainly you need to clean that up. But I'm going Zach Bond with the GOAT of the game. And I will say, I saw some people during the game on Twitter saying, "Oh, well," and even on a couple of the text chains, "Well, the refs are missing holding calls on Tampa Bay, blah 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 blah." Yeah, they missed a couple, but Quinyon got away with at least two that I saw where he was dragging a T-shirt of a Tampa receiver. So it works both ways, and I've said it a million times. I'm not one to put the blame on referees because it did go both ways. But a win is a win. We move on, look ahead to Denver. We'll put the final bow and everything on this tomorrow. Uh, Once I have time to kind of rewatch some things and take a deeper dive, as they like to say. But this is just off the cuff. And most of the first half, I was coaching fall ball, helping fill in for my son's team. So I didn't watch as closely as I would have liked to. So looking forward to going back and rewatching some of that. But we move on, 4-0. Bring on the Broncos. All right, Phillies had themselves a good weekend as well, taking 2 of 3 from the Twins, 3-1 Friday night, and Mundo Sosa with a home run. Aaron Nola came out and pitched 8 innings, struck out 9, took over the number 2 spot all time for strikeouts by a Phillies pitcher. Are we going to get playoff Nola? Nola certainly made a very strong and firm case to be included in the first 3 uh, starters for the NLDS. We'll see how that goes. But playoff Nola maybe making a comeback? I don't know. Ranger did not look good on Saturday. Phil's lose 5-0. He said he'll be fine. Um, I don't know. It just was not a good start. So we'll see if it was just like a blip on the radar or what. And then yesterday, Trey Turner made his return to the lineup. It's what I wanted to see to feel a little bit better going into the postseason. Did win the batting title. My, though. When I was a kid, the batting title, whoever won it, it was like 340, 350. Trey Turner won it with like a 304 batting average. It just shows how much the game has changed. Like Tony Gwynn would hit 330 and not win the batting title, but he hit 330 every year. Trey Turner, 304 wins the batting title. The only person, I guess, with enough qualified at bats to hit over 300 in the National League. Yee. But congrats to Trey on that. Kyle Schwarber obviously did not tie Ryan Howard's record, but did win the National League home run crown. So congrats to him. And I will say Christopher Sanchez was outstanding. He looks playoff ready, 5 2/3, 8 Ks. The bullpen was solid. And it was fitting to me that Nick Castellanos got knocked in the winning run because that's what you're going to need from him. Take everything else, all the media scrutiny, all of that aside. That's the stuff they're going to need from Nick Castellanos and really all these guys. But that in the 10th inning, there was bunts. Like it was like a microcosm of the season. I'll take it. But Phil's end the regular season with 96 wins, and at no point, minus maybe the last 6 weeks or so, did they ever seem like they were playing their best. So hopefully the best is yet to come. But for all the turmoil, all of the trials and tribulations, the ups and the downs, the blown saves, the questionable moves by the manager, this team won 96 games, second most in Major League Baseball. Not too bad. I mean, overall, I mean, the job is not done until you win the World Series, but that was a good first. You can check that off. Like, that was a very good. I don't think at the end of the year, I don't think any of us would have said 96 wins for this team. So kudos to the Phillies on a great regular season, but it means nothing if you don't win the World Series. So the Red October Express will be pulling into the station this weekend, Saturday night, hopefully Saturday night or Saturday afternoon. Phillies will play the winner of the Dodgers Red series. Could certainly see the Reds knocking out the Dodgers. But then it's kind of like, do you want to play the Dodgers or a red hot Reds team? So let's just see how it goes. But the Phillies will play an inter-squad scrimmage on Wednesday. Tickets are on sale for that. I don't know if it's going to be televised or not, but pretty cool that they did that. But good regular season, better than expected. But this year was always World Series or bust. So Red October is coming, baby. So let's see what the Phils can do. Tomorrow, we'll start taking a look at some of my preseason predictions to see how good or bad I did with them. Let's say it's kind of a mixed bag, but we'll start doing that tomorrow. But good. Phil's off now till Saturday, and then get ramped up for either the Reds or the Dodgers, who the Phillies have had success against both teams in the postseason before. So what obviously different errors and things like that. So we'll see how it goes, but just kick your feet up, watch the games, and let's see who the Phils will play. Union still alive for the Supporters Shield Trophy. 6-0 win at Subaru Park on Saturday. They need to win their final two, and they will win the Supporters Shield. I believe it'd be the second or third time they've won it in team history. But again, this is another team that's nice, but let's go out and get a championship. But the Union, 6-0 win. I forget who they played, but a good win for the Union. The Sixers, kind of recapping some of the things that happened on Media Day. Joel said, I need to listen to his body more, still not giving a timetable on when he's going to be ready. Probably there'll be way more scheduled off days for him. He did say that he's not going to change his style of play. He was like, yeah, I could be better on the offensive end and take some defensive plays off, but it's just not who I am. So he has the right mindset, just needs to listen to his body and take care of it. Paul George is still recovering. No timetable yet for his return, but he's doing everything but full contact workouts. So hopefully that means he'll be back soon. He did say he's open to playing the 4, which would allow the younger, more athletic guys to play on the outside and run. Might be a good change of pace for Paul to help keep him healthy. But they're heading to Abu Dhabi for some preseason games and training camp. So we'll see what happens, but getting sucked in. Joe looks good, man. He really does. Looks really good. I know, I'm setting myself up, but listen, man, looks like he put in the work in the offseason, and that's all you got to ask. The Temple football team was off this weekend. Villanova got the win over William and Mary, 31-24. They're both back at it this weekend. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention to all my Penn State fans out there, James Franklin sucks. All right, let's go back to Friday's trivia question. And I asked you, how many times did the Eagles and the Phillies both make the playoffs in the history of the vet? That would be 3 times. 1978, 1980, and 1981 was the one that tripped everybody up because most people forget that both teams made it in 81. The Eagles following their Super Bowl loss, the Phillies following it up. But that was a strike shortened season, and the Phillies were red hot before the strike. So very much in play to have back-to-back for the Phillies in 1981, but the strike kind of disrupted everything and whatnot. So they ended up losing in 5 games to the Expos in a divisional playoff that year. All right, what happened this weekend in Philly sports history? Lots of big things happened. So first, on September 27th, the first NFL game involving a Philadelphia team took place in 1924 up in Frankfurt Stadium as the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets beat the Worcester Jeffersons 21-0. First NFL game featuring a Philadelphia team in Philadelphia. The Frankfurt Yellow Jackets won 21-0 at Frankfurt Stadium. Then we're going to go fast forward. That happened in 1924. I'm not sure if I said the date or not. Then fast forward to 2008. Phils beat the Nats 4-3 at Citizens Bank Park to win the National League East for the second straight year. I was there for that. We held our breaths because Jimmy Rollins started a pretty decent double play as the Phils win the division for the second straight year. And then 2010, another game against the Nationals. Phils win 8-0, winning the NL East for the 4th straight year. So big day for the Phils winning the NL East on September 27th. And then fast forward to September 28th, more of the same. 1983, Phils beat the Cubs 13-6 to win the NL East. 10 years later in 93, 10-7 over the Pirates to win the NL East. And Harry Callis waxed poetic on that team. It was actually pretty good. This band of throwbacks. 2003, they lost the final game at the Vet 5-2 at the Braves. Speaking of Harry, he pulled off the number, gave a salute to Richie Ashburn, his longtime friend and partner in the broadcast booth. And then in 2011, Phillies win game number 102, setting a team record for wins in the season. Also in that game, Charlie Manuel got his 646th win as Phillies manager. He's number 1 all time on their list. And that's what happened this weekend. That's Rewind the Weekend, brought to you by Philly Goat. Go to phillygoat.com. Use the promo code Jim Montgomery to take 10% off your order. Philly Goat has you covered for Red October, though. Let's do some quick housekeeping. Be sure to follow me on social media at Philly Jimbo on all platforms. Go to the YouTube channel, Jimbo_Mont, and subscribe. Best way to stay in the loop. And of course, spread the word. The Brotherly Birds breakdown. More and more listeners every week. We appreciate it. So spread the word, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a review, comment, all of that other good stuff. I try to answer all the comments as best I can. So if you leave a comment, chances are you will hear from me. And then if you're interested in a raffle benefiting the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame, where you have a chance to win 2 home games to all 4 of the major sports teams all year, Hit me up, $20 per ticket, and you get tickets to every single home game. There's also a 70-inch TV, a Phillies spring training trip, lots of things, but all proceeds benefit the Philadelphia Sports Hall of Fame. So hit me up if you are interested. Tickets are $20.
Whether you're coaching Little League, crushing your fantasy league, or just rolling up to a bachelor party like a Philly legend, Lotwin Custom Hype Chains bring the energy. Fully customizable, totally unforgettable, and guaranteed to turn you into the MVP of the moment. Great for teams, groomsmen, or anyone who wants to show off with some serious swagger. Go to Lotwin.com, use the promo code TCCPOD, and get 10% off your own custom hype chain. Lotwin, let's get hyped together.
And I'm telling you, those chains are good. So hit them up if you're looking for a hype chain. Good quality as well. All right, September 29th. Lots going on September 29th. We're going to go back first to 1915. And on this day in 1915, the Phillies beat the Braves 5-0. Grover Cleveland Alexander hit the Braves for his 31st win of the season as the Phillies clinched the National League pennant for the first time in team history. They would go on to lose the World Series to the Boston Red Sox, though. And then going to fast forward all the way to 1986, and this was an interesting one. The Phillies lose to the Cubs 8-3, but it was the first time in Major League Baseball history that two rookie brothers faced off against each other. Greg got the best of older brother Mike, and just another case of the Phillies having the wrong brother. I mean, you can go through all of them just with the Phillies. DiMaggio, Giambi, Maddox, always had the wrong brother. But that happened on this day in 1986. Greg Maddox versus Mike Maddox. Greg got the best of his older brother. And in 2002, the Eagles beat the Texans 35-17. Deuce Staley had 2 rushing touchdowns. Donovan McNabb threw for 259 yards and a touchdown to James Thrash in the first ever meeting against the Houston Texans. But the story of the game was Brian Dawkins with the quadrifecta. Only player in NFL history with a fumble recovery, an interception, a touchdown reception that came on a fake punt, and a sack in the same game. It was one of those games we watched live, and it was just Dawkins was all over the field. And this was like prime Brian Dawkins at this time. But with the quadrifecta, the only player with a fumble, an interception, a touchdown reception, and a sack in the same game. And I remember the fake punt was just it was like a snap to Brian Mitchell, who schneided it to Dawkins, who just blew by everybody down the field. So good game for Brian Dawkins on this day in 2002. And then finally today, our underrated, underappreciated Philly athletes, slowly winding this list down, had some fun with this for the month of September, is Rick McLeish. He was traded to the Flyers in the 1970-71 season. And is not the first guy you usually think of when you think about those Broad Street Bullies team. However, McLeish certainly played a pivotal role in all of those both of those championships. He was a 3-time All-Star while with the Flyers, had the most points in both of the postseasons that they won those cups, led the league in both of them, and certainly could have made a strong case for the Conn Smythe if it was not for the outstanding play of the late, great Bernie Parent. But McLeish led the Flyers in scoring in both of those Stanley Cup runs, including the game winner in Game 6 of the 1974 Cup on a deflection. Overall, McLeish spent 12 years in Philly, 328 goals, ranks number 6 all-time in Flyers history. You hear about Bobby Clark, you hear about Bernie Parent, and you hear about Bill Barber. McLeish is usually the forgotten guy from that group. Sometimes you hear about Barry Ashby, but at the end of the day, Rick McLeish played a huge role of both of those Stanley Cup winning Flyers teams, and that is why he is today's underrated and underappreciated Philadelphia sports athlete. We will finish that up tomorrow. And today's trivia question, we're going to stick with the Flyers. McLeish is number 6 all time in the Flyers' total goals for a career. Who are the top five? Who are the five players above Rick McLeish when it comes to total goals for the Flyers? All in honor of Rick McLeish being today's underrated, underappreciated Philly athlete. On this day in 2002, Brian Dawkins with a quadrifecta against the Texans, a fumble, an interception, a touchdown reception, and a sack, all in the same game. It was brother versus brother, rookie brother versus brother in 1986 as the Phillies lose to the Cubs 8-3. Greg Maddux got the best of his older brother, Mike, and just another example of us having the wrong brother. In 1915, the Phillies win the National League pennant for the first time. Will go on to lose the World Series, though, to the Boston Red Sox. We'll have much, much more on the Eagles as I get a chance to break it down and look at some things. But again, 4-0 is 4-0. As Bill Parcells used to say, you are what your record says you are. Our record says we're one of two undefeated teams left in the NFL, along with the Buffalo Bills. I'll take it. But we'll have more on that tomorrow. We'll start going over Phillies preseason predictions and start looking ahead to the divisional series game against either the Dodgers or the Reds. I believe those games kick off tomorrow. So we'll start getting you ready for that. But it's going to be a busy month. You got postseason, you got Eagles, you got the Union wrapping up, and it's like the best time of the year anyway. The weather, hopefully, it hasn't been, but hopefully it's going to start getting cooler. Love this time. Get me to Red October. This has been This Day in Philly Sports History for September 29th, 2025. My name is Jim Montgomery. Go have yourselves a Victory Monday. And until next time, go Birds.